What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today I wanted to take a look at Revavroom EX. This is one of the new EXs that was released with Shrouded Fable, and it's actually kind of an interesting card that I didn't think was going to be very good, but it's actually kind of proved better than I thought it would be, where it has two different attacks, the Accelerator Flash and the Shattering Speed attack, both of which are good, but they're good in different situations. The Accelerator Flash is nice because it's just a single energy, it does 20 damage, but if it's switched from the bench to the active slot, then it deals 120 more, bringing it to 140. This, with the fact that we're an electric type, means that a lot of the kind of supporter style mons, things like Squawkabilly, Lumineon, things like that, we're able to knock out in one hit, as well as things when we're fighting Lugia. Since we hit for weakness, for a single energy, we're able to knock out Lugia very easily. And then for anything else, we have the Shattering Speed attack, where for 3 energy, we do 250 damage, and then we discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. Which could be really annoying, but it actually kind of works out in a weird tag style, because we run the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX, so we can put this into the active, kind of force our opponent to get stuck. We can always make a new one with grabbing the Night Stretcher and re-evolving, or super rotting things back into the deck, and continue to make our Revavrooms. The way we're going to power it up is by using Metang and using its classic Metal Maker ability, as well as some other supporter cards or support cards that we're kind of running is just the regular Revavroom in order to help draw ourselves some hands. We also run the Zamazenta, so that way we can retaliate and do burst damage at the end of a game if we need to kind of close out a KO or take one, as well as Tatsugiri, just because it's helpful to find our other pieces. Our A-spec of choice is obviously going to be Hyper Aroma, since we want to make sure that we're able to set up our Metangs as quickly as possible, as well as multiple Revavrooms, so we can keep kind of cycling those. It definitely can be a thing where you could choose to run Prime Catcher instead, but I personally like Hyper Aroma when it comes to having the Metangs. One of the other things that we're going to be running is Choice Belt. This will help us with knocking out other V Pokemon. Right now, Regidrago specifically is super common, so we want to make sure that we're one-shotting that as easily as possible. We also run a copy of Rescue Board in order to make sure that we can switch our pieces around, get the Ogerpon out of the active if we have to, and things like that. Had to sneeze there, so sorry for the minor jump scare. I think I muted it in time. If not, I'll cut it out. Anyway, one of the other things that we're doing, we run Arven to make sure that we're able to get our Rescue Board, but more importantly, that we're always able to get our Hyper Aroma. We run Professor's Research for the same thing, and then 2 copies of Boss to help out our other matchups. We only run 1 copy of Iono, and I think this is going to be something that I do more often now. I like Iono, but with Pheasantipity being so common, a lot of times being able to like Iono somebody and then knock out their active really doesn't hurt them as much as it used to, and so I feel like Iono's lost a lot of value with Pheasantipity being in the game. So I'm just running 1 copy for now. Maybe I'll add more, maybe I'll just take it out completely, but for right now, I kind of prefer it at 1. And yeah, that's the list. So I'm also running the 1 fighting energy, but that's mostly just so that way I can attack with Cornerstone if I need to, but it's not really super relevant. If we discard it, it doesn't really matter. We can always just pick it back up with the Night Stretcher anyway. But yeah, that's kind of the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes or alterations that you would make to it. Be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel as well, and what other cards you want to see covered. Like I said, I would love to do United Wings, but right now it's just kind of bugged, so I'm waiting for the Pokemon Company to fix that. And then, yeah, we'll be jumping into a whole bunch of other decks, so be sure to let me know what you want to see. Be sure to join the community Discord down in the description below, as well as the list right here will also be in the description below if you want to copy it and use it for yourself. And also, I want to give a special shout out to the members and like the channel members and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. That extra level of support does mean a lot. I always, say this, there's no obligation to do it, but I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And lastly, as part of like little announcement style stuff, I asked for feedback about this on my last video, so I'm going to give it a try. I'm I cut the game audio, and I'm going to be putting just like random music in the background. I still haven't decided what random music I'm going to do, whether it's going to be one song that's just really long, or if I'm just going to do a bunch of completely random songs all throughout the video. I guess it'll just depend on how I'm feeling when I edit it, but I am going to give it a try for this video, because that'll come later. I don't even know what's playing right now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that and any changes that I should make to it, and like how the volume is sounding, whether it should be louder, quieter, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for the feedback, and I'll see you all in game 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1. We're going to be going first. We open Varoom and Zamazenta. So what's nice is that we do have the Arven for next turn. Unfortunately, this turn we're not really going to be able to do too much, which is a little sad because there's definitely some stuff we'd like to be able to do. Though getting the Hyper Aroma is definitely nice, like we're not going to complain about that. We can throw down Zamazenta and pass. Because we're up against Gardevoir, we definitely will have a couple more turns than we probably should, unless they get like an absolutely cracked hand. So what we can probably do here is go Arven for like probably like a Buddy Poffin. Get ourselves a couple more cards, go Hyper Aroma. Okay. So, new plan. We may just be able to straight up donk here. We will still go Buddy Poffin. And we'll grab the Choice Belt. We'll grab ourselves this and this. But what we're also going to do is go Hyper Aroma. Grab this, this, and this. But what we're going to do is we're going to go Rescue Board, Retreat, bring this in, Evolve, Switch, Bop, Accelerator Flash, and Donk. So, very dumb game 1, because obviously our opponent just must have bricked incredibly hard. That is obviously not indicative of anything. We'll definitely do 4 games, but I just think that's really funny, so I'll keep it in and count it as game number 1. Just because that's really dumb. But, alright. Very dumb game 1, so we'll jump into game 2 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, or 2. Actually, I forgot that the first one even happened. We're into game number 2. We're going to go 1 Varoom in the active. Then we'll place our Beldum down in the back. We do have a Buddy Poffin, which is kind of nice for us. We do see Dialga. Interesting matchup. We'll grab this and this. Then we'll go Buddy Poffin again for 2 more Varooms for right now. Then what we'll do is we'll attach the fighting energy. We'll discard it and bring in our Tatsugiri. Mostly because this is... Ooh, the Arven there is huge for the Hyper Aroma. Mostly because of the fact that, realistically, Cornerstone's not going to matter this game. And so, out of all the energy we have, that's going to be the like best / easiest one to discard. One of the things that's about to be huge, though, is like because we already have energy in hand, we're going to be able to grab double Beldum and 1 of our Revavroom EXs. We're going to be able to come in and just KO this Dialga like right away, which is going to be really big for us. And then we have a second Arven as a backup later. So big. So we can grab the Hyper Aroma. We'll grab the Rescue Board. We'll go Hyper Aroma here, grab ourselves 1 and 2 of these. We can place both of these down. Then we'll play our Revavroom EX. We'll attach the Rescue Board to the Tatsugiri. Then as long as we hit 1 with each of these Metangs. Okay. Let's hit 2 with this one. That's so tragic. We should have been able to knock this thing out. I'm actually so sad. Can't believe that didn't work. We get a research for later. But that's okay. We'll bring this in. We'll hit for 140. If they don't evolve, then we're in a great place. But the fact that they Ultra Balled the there's a way kind of tells me that they can. Yep. And they have the Metang. If they get lucky and hit, like, multiple off this, I'm going to lose my mind. I'll be legitimately upset. There's a research. There's their Nest Ball. I'm gonna say this right now. If they get enough that they can Star Chronos me, I'm gonna be actually livid. Because I should have been able to KO that. Alright. If they miss everything too, then it's fair. There's justice in this world that I can be okay with. Joke's on you, buddy. I'm coming back. We place this down. We'll go Metal Maker. We get 1 hit. We'll place that here for safety. We Metal Maker again. We miss. That's why we placed it for safety. We retreat. We bring this one back in. Boss's orders. You bring that back here. You don't run away. Don't run away from me now, boy. We do another 140. Knock that out. The way that God intended. The way it always should have been. Setting things right in the world. We get another energy, so we don't have to rely on these Metangs that only let us down. At least their Metang let them down too, so, you know, can't be too upset. They research again. Get a little deeper into their deck. There's a second Metang. The whole thing, though, is that if they go Dialga V-Star here, they have to Star Chronos. Because otherwise, we'll be able to Arven. If we grab the Choice Belt, we can bring this in, attach the energy, Choice Belt, knock out this thing, and then all we need to do is just build one more. Like, we'll be in a really good spot. Yep, there's their V-Star. Bring that in. They have to go Star Chronos here. Because they have to give themselves... They go Metal Burst. It's still not enough. Why would you do that? You fool. You absolute fool. So we can go Arven. grab our Choice Belt. And then from here, we'll grab an Ultra Ball. I think is going to be our best play. We can place that down. We'll retreat this out. Bring in Revavroom EX. Choice Belt. We'll Metal Maker. Miss everything because that's what we do best. Metal Maker again. We get one at least. We'll slap that onto this for right now. And then from here, we can go Shattering Speed. Knock this out. Pitch everything away. Bring in our Tatsugiri, and our opponent's going to concede. Because from there, we're in a pretty good spot. We could just repower, go Shattering Speed again. And yeah. Okay, that game should have been so much easier because we should have been able to hit, but it is what it is. We closed it out. They needed to go Star Chronos there to give themselves more, more time to build up a second Dialga. Because if they could have done that, we would have been kind of... not that we would have lost or anything like that, but it would have been much harder to win because it would have required us to be able to, like, boss up and knock out, like, the Mew or something like that. But, yeah, that's going to be game number 2, and pretty fun one. And I'll see you guys in game number 3 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3. Our opponent's going to be going first. We are going to mulligan this hand away, and that's great because it's just full of Professor's Research. Which is not what we're looking for. But we'll see what we get. We'll have to wait for our opponent to actually set up. They seem to be taking their sweet time to do so. This is okay. We're definitely not upset about that. This is much better than what we had before. Again, we're just kind of waiting on our opponent. They get their extra card. We see Duskull. It is our opponent's turn. We'll see what our opponent's actually playing because there's a lot of things that Duskull goes into, so just seeing Duskull doesn't really tell us enough. But we can assume it's either Lost Zone or Charizard because those are the two, like, most popular of all the different, like, Lost Zone or Duskull decks. Man, our opponent takes their sweet time with every action. It is Lost Zone, which is actually kind of nice for us in the sense that we'll be able to use the Accelerator Flash attack much more and way easier because we don't have to hit that high of damage numbers. It also means, like, our other Pokemon will also still be, like, useful. So, like, Zamazenta is going to be able to knock out pretty much whatever it wants. So that's always good. The only issue is the fact that, like, every time they use Dusknoir, we're going to lose a Pokemon. And Sableye is going to tear up our back line. But that's just the price we're going to have to pay. So we'll grab 1 and 1. We will Nest Ball to grab ourselves one more Beldum. And then from here, we can attach and retreat. See if we can get ourselves into, like, an Arven, which would be really nice. Like, I'd personally prefer that over having to research right now. We only get a boss's orders, which we don't really want to throw away. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to research. And there's the Arven we were looking for. But that's also okay. We'll go Buddy Poffin here. Grab ourselves one more Vroom. And pass. On the next turn, we'll be able to Arven for a Hyper Aroma. We can play down the Rescue Board, provided that the Tatsugiri isn't knocked out. and kind of go from there. We see Dusclops. Not enough to KO us. But there's the Colress. They will be able... I mean, they were going to be able to get into Cramorant, like, no matter what. So it's very likely that we lose our Tatsugiri here. But they're going to prioritize finding Lost City. This will probably be a Comfey and a Sableye. Oh, they go double Duskull. Energy on the Comfey to retreat it. Brings in their next one. They're still looking for the Lost City, which they want to be able to have, so that way they can Dusclops and get a whole, like, extremely turboed. I'll be genuinely surprised if they don't... Wow. I thought they would, like, make an effort to go Cramorant there, but I guess not. We'll go ahead and grab our Hyper Aroma, and we'll grab the Choice Belt. Not that it's going to matter, but it gives us discard fodder for later if we if we need it. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Wait for Pokemon to stop being bugged. There we go. Go 1, 2, 3. And then we can play this down, but I don't think we're really going to, like, need it. We'll go attract customers. We'll grab the Arven for now for future turns. Okay, huge Metal Maker. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1. We'll Metal Maker again to get the next one powered up. Wow, huge Metal Makers there. And it's nice because it helps thin our deck out a little bit as well. I mean, the only bad part about this is that, like, realistically, they can definitely just knock that out. And I'm going to lose out on, like, those energies and stuff like that. But, like, that's fine. We'll attach here. And then we can go Accelerator Flash. Knocking out the Rescue Boarded Comfey, which is pretty nice. We get the research. I mean, there's an argument to be made that we should keep the Revavroom, or like that we should play that down. It can be an attacker, and like the 90 damage is going to be good enough to KO whatever we want regardless. And then also, if we get Iono'd later on in the game, it's going to like help bail us out. But at the same time, I'd rather just keep this open to make Revavrooms with. We can grab ourselves like a Night Stretcher on the next turn as well. There's the Colress Experiment. So to get to 10, they need either Lost City or a new Comfey. Wait, why did they not? They must have another one in hand, because there's no reason not to take it. At bare minimum, you would take it just so that way you could pop one Dusclops and get yourself into Sableye numbers, put Sableye down, retreat this out, and then just start popping off. Because that's the biggest danger that we're in right now is Sableye coming in and just being able to like KO everything on our bench super easily. Night Stretcher for the energy. Okay. Yeah, so they did have another one. So we're going to lose out on the Rivarooms for sure. But, I mean, taking the extra prize cards is definitely nice. We're definitely not going to complain there. We'll take one more. The main issue with the Lost City being down is it means that like we're not going to actually be able to attack with Revavroom to use our like shredding speed. At least not for a little while, but as of right now we don't really need it. Obviously there was the argument like had we placed Revavroom down we'd be safe to protect this, but it doesn't actually provide value, so there's really no direct like use for it, if that makes sense. Like, it just doesn't give up a prize card, but it would eventually anyway, just not on this turn. There's another Sableye. There's their Switch. They don't really have any draw cards, though, as of right now, unless they already have, like, a Researcher or, like, a Carmine in hand, so depending on how much they, like, overcommit to this, I mean, I guess they're going to get some prize cards out of it, so it's not that bad. There's our EX. So they're probably going to knock out, like, Tatsugiri here in both of the Varooms. Or they might start stacking damage onto the Metang. Oh, interesting. They left the Tatsugiri, like, around. So they're only going to take 2 prizes for the turn. This is in range now that they can KO it with a... what's it called? They would be able to KO it with the... Rubber set was Switch. What am I trying to think of? Alright, let's go Lost Vacuum here. We'll get rid of the Ogerpon since that doesn't matter. Blood Moon or Saluna, that's what I'm thinking of. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one more Vroom down. We'll switch. Bring this in. Retreat. Bring this back. We'll throw the choice belt down because why not? And then we'll go Metal Maker. Actually, it's better to not. We can go Accelerating Speed here. The main thing is that we want energy in our deck for right now, because if they go the main thing here is that if they go Blood Moon and they bring in Blood Moon or Saluna, we need to make sure that we can go Shattering Speed. But if they go Sableye, we need to make sure that we have enough like energy that we can retreat out from here, go Metang, and then like come back in. If that makes sense. and then use Shattering Speed after that. There's Comfey. Switch cart to another Comfey. So I assume they're looking for Blood Moon. I guess the argument could be made that I should have attached to the Varoom anyway. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, I didn't see that coming. That's definitely an interesting play. But now we only need to hit one energy. That was the last option that I really thought was going to happen. So we'll go attract customers just to pull another card out of our deck. We'll go Arven. To grab the Switch. So that way nothing can go wrong. We can just attach, Switch, bring this in, and accelerate, flash, and end the game. Alright. I mean, we prepared for a lot of options, not the one that ended up happening, but it was okay because it all kind of worked itself out regardless. So, cool. That's game number 3. The first one was really kind of dumb, so we'll do one more after this. So I will see you guys in that game in a moment, and peace. Alright, it's game number 4, and we're going to be going first. We get ourselves a Beldum, Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and a Nest Ball, as well as a Rescue Board. So this could work out really well for us. We get the regular Varoom, or Revavroom rather. We'll go Nest Ball. We'll go Nest Ball for one more Beldum for right now. We'll attach and retreat. Bring in Tatsugiri. Go attract customers. We miss. That's okay, we can attempt again on our next turn. That's certainly okay. There's a Pokestop from our opponent, that's fine by us. We see the Dark Energy, so it's probably the Ancient Box or Loyal 3. It is Ancient Box. I don't love that, but it's okay. We see Walking Wake in the active. Okay, I mean, drawing right into the Hyper Aroma is pretty big. Definitely not going to complain about that. So we'll go double Metang here. We'll go Revavroom. We'll go for the attract customers. We do get ourselves a research, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and use that. It's going to get me the most value, and I don't think I'm going to need the rest of the cards that I have. We can go ahead and place a new Varoom down. We can Metal Maker from here. We do get 2 hits, which is nice. I'm only going to do 1 and 1 for right now, and I'm actually going to start just kind of powering up the other one. Yeah, so we'll retreat, bring this in, we'll Accelerator Flash, take the knockout there, grab 1 prize, it's another Beldum, we'll see what our opponent gets. I mean, maybe we'll just get lucky and we'll be able to... Oh, nope, never mind. I was going to say, maybe they'll get, or we'll get lucky, rather, and our opponent won't play any basics down, and we'll just kind of be able to donk the game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but, you know, not the biggest deal in the world. We will be able to trade one prize for one prize with a... Ooh. Okay, cool. Something I can actually, like, attempt to boss. That's exciting. Because I should still have one in deck. And that's just, like, a two-prizer sitting around waiting to be grabbed up. What I actually want to do here is I want to go Arven for the Nest Ball, and I'll grab the Choice Belt. Mostly that's just to help thin my deck out. What I want to do is go Nest Ball for Zamazenta. I can go Night Stretcher for a Revavroom EX. I can retreat, bring this in, I can reattach, I can go Metal Maker. We do miss, but that's okay. Do it again. We miss again. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Can't win them all. From here, we'll just go Accelerator Flash, knocking out the Greninja. We'll take prize card 3. There's a Super Rod. We're definitely looking to be able to boss the Pheasantipity as soon as possible. But I also want to get Zamazenta powered up. One, because it'll also be able to knock out the Pheasantipity, which will be nice, obviously, but it also can be like a one prize trader a little bit, like, as well, so definitely not going to complain there. I don't know if Janine's Secret Art is the way to go. Alright, so they're going to choose to knock out one of the Beldums. Or Metang's. That's fine, because we can just play a new Beldum down. They get themselves a bunch of Nest Balls, though. So they'll be able to get out a whole bunch more Roaring Moons. Roaring Moon EX, good for us. Secret Box, also fine with us. Man, they only do 150. That's so sad. So we'll bring Tatsugiri in. We can go attract customers. We get an Iono, but we're probably not going to end up using it. We'll play the Beldum down, and then from here we'll go Metal Maker. We get 2 hits. That's actually really big, because what that's going to allow us to do is that we can place both on Zamazenta. We can manually attach and retreat. Bring this in, and then we'll be able to retaliate, attack that, knock that out. And then if they KO us, we can go 2 energies, put Zamazenta back into the deck, and just keep, like, researching. It also means we only give up one prize here, which is completely fine for us. There's another Roaring Moon. So pretty much what the goal is going to be here is that they'll knock out Zamazenta. We bring in Tatsugiri. We hopefully hit boss. We can boss up the Roaring Moon, knock that out, and then whatever else we want, we just knock out whatever the next thing that comes in is. So we bring up Tatsugiri. There's an Arven. We'll go Buddy Poffin, get ourselves one more room for later. Then what we can do is go attract customers. Unfortunately, we don't hit anything, and that's a little bit more annoying, but again, not like the biggest deal in the world. What we'll do is go Super Rod. And the Metang. And then we'll Arven here to grab ourselves one more Super Rod. To throw triple energy back into the deck. And then we can go Ultra Ball, get rid of this and this. Grab ourselves a new Metang. Place that down. We'll go Metal Maker. Metal Maker again. We get triple energy there. That's pretty big. Because what that allows us to do is we'll go just like that. Then we can retreat. Bring this in. Go Shattering Speed. Knock that out. And then we'll bring the Tang in. And the main reason for that is if they choose to knock out the Metang, that's totally fine for us. If they choose to boss up the Revavroom, that's also okay. Because we'll have Tatsugiri to search, we'll have double Metang, we have energy in hand. Like, all that's fine, because all we need to do is get ourselves into either our other room in the deck, or an Ultra Ball, or a Night Stretcher. So, like, we'll have cards available to us. Not to mention, actually, if our opponent doesn't have a way to put cards back in the deck, we'll probably just end up passing. But we have to assume they have Super Rod, right? Like, they have to. They probably have, like, 2 in... We have to assume they probably have 2 in hand. Alright. And it doesn't matter, because they didn't boss or do anything like that, so because they knocked out the Metang, we bring this in. They think they're safe because they have the booster capsule, but they are not. We can play that down. Go Lost Vacuum. Get rid of the Iono we don't really care about. Get rid of the Ancient Booster Capsule, and that's also why we held on to the Lost Vacuum the entire time. Let's see if we can knock it out with some. Never mind, we're always going to be a little bit short. We can go Shattering Speed. Knock out the Roaring Moon EX. Bring our Tatsugiri back in. And close out the game. Hey, there's a research that could bail us out. But yeah, that's going to be game number 4. Very fun game. I feel like I don't run into Ancient Box that much, but I feel like it could be kind of cool with all the new cards that it gets, like from the Dark support. But I don't know if Janine's Secret Art is the play. Really don't kind of think so. But anyway, that's going to be game number 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for checking out the video and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let me know any changes or alterations that you'd make to the deck. And be sure to join the community Discord down in the description, as well as the list for this deck. Be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel, any cards featured or any other deck. I know that we got some requests before that have kind of gotten put on the back burner because of the new set, because I'm trying to cover like new cards or like kind of updated deck lists and things like that. But I will try to go back to those requests from before. And yeah, lastly, be sure to let me know what you thought of like the music in the background, whether it's too loud, too quiet, terrible, good, fun idea, bad idea, all that kind of stuff. Definitely looking for feedback on how to kind of change up the videos a little bit and kind of improve them. So any feedback would be greatly appreciated in the comments. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.